How's it going, everyone? Chris here, and welcome back to another Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC leak discussion video. In today's video, we are actually going to be taking a look at a leak that claims to know the final DLC character that's going to appear on the first Fighter's Pass, as well as an extra bonus character and the first character on the second Fighter's Pass. However, guys, as always, and I cannot stress this enough, just because this leak claims to have all of this credible information, that does not mean that this is going to end up being 100% real, so make sure you guys take it with a grain of salt and realize that I'm talking about this just for fun. If you guys would like to read while I talk, you can find a link to the original post in the description bar down below, and now with all of that out of the way, I have to tell you guys where this leak came from. So guys, this leak was sent in to me by one of my subscribers on my Discord server, so if you guys haven't already joined up, you can find a link to my Discord as well as links to all of my other social media presences, such as my Twitter, Twitch, and Patreon in the description bar down below, as well as the pinned comment. And now guys, with all of that out of the way, this leak comes from GameFAQs.com, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. So guys, like I said, this leak comes from GameFAQs.com, and it is titled The Truth About Smash Ultimate DLC, and it is posted by Anonymous N. It starts by saying, I will be posting this anonymously, but for the sake of remembering who I am, you can just call me N. Now, I am sure a lot of you are sick about hearing about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate leaks, getting your hopes up, and getting upset because they turn out fake. But this is not one that you are going to regret. My company works very closely with Nintendo, and I have some friends in very high places. Yeah, I know, everyone has an uncle who works at Nintendo, but believe it or not, some people actually do know people. I have been the person supplying information to credible leakers for a while now, but that is all you are going to get. Not who, not when, and not why. Just know I was one of the first to call Piranha Plant. Anyways, with that being said, the final DLC characters are Crash Bandicoot, who is going to be the final character of the first Fighter's Pass, Doom Guy, who's going to be the first character of the second Fighter's Pass, and Geno, who's going to be a free character with those with Nintendo Switch Online. That is all you are getting now, but just know I will be back to post more information soon. Also, we will be getting a total of 5 Fighter's Passes. So now that we've gone over the entire post, let's talk about it a little bit. So guys, the first thing that I want to go ahead and talk about is the claim that his company works very closely with Nintendo. Now obviously, if this is real and he does work for a company that works very closely with Nintendo, especially with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, that probably means he works for Bandai Namco, since obviously they are the ones who are developing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, once again, this could definitely just be a case of another person saying, like, my uncle works at Nintendo, so I have all this information, but I usually like to give people the benefit of the doubt because obviously, guys, there are people out there like Vergaben and Sabi who have gotten credible information before from sources and stuff like that, so why should this time be any different? It's entirely possible that this guy actually does work here, and it'll be very interesting to see if this does in fact play out. So now let's go ahead and talk about the characters that are potentially going to be coming to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So first of all, we have Crash Bandicoot, who is going to be the final character of the first Fighter's Pass. Now, Crash Bandicoot is a character that we have been talking about a whole lot on this channel. Obviously, for those of you guys who didn't already know, Crash Bandicoot alongside Ryu Hayabusa and Doom Guy are probably the 3 most discussed characters on YouTube in terms of like these characters making it as the final DLC fighter. However, Crash Bandicoot is definitely overshadowed by the other 2. Now, I don't really know why this is, because personally, I think Crash Bandicoot would make the perfect addition to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but fine. I understand that there are people out there that want to see Ryu Hayabusa and Doom Guy over him, however, I still think he has a pretty good chance. First of all, guys, one of the biggest reasons I believe that Crash Bandicoot has a chance is because of the color theory. Now, if you guys don't know what the color theory is, basically, the color theory states that since we already have a bunch of different colored backgrounds like green, red, blue, purple, and I think the other one was yellow with Banjo-Kazooie, the last color that we should be getting is orange because obviously that's the last of the primary colors. And what better character would fit orange than Crash Bandicoot? Now, although whether or not you believe the color theory is definitely irrelevant, I mean, the color theory, we don't really know if it's going to end up being real or not, so we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But Crash Bandicoot definitely has a huge chance outside of that for sure. I mean, Crash Bandicoot is an incredibly iconic character. For those of you guys who didn't already know, Crash Bandicoot has had just as many games on Nintendo platforms as he has had on Sony platforms, and considering that most people consider like Crash Bandicoot to be a Sony character, this is definitely something that is extremely interesting. However, with all that being said though, guys, Crash Bandicoot has a very strong presence on Nintendo consoles. Obviously, we have Crash Team Racing and the Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy on the Nintendo Switch, so if we don't end up seeing him in Smash, I'd honestly be pretty surprised. Next up, we have Doom Guy from the Doom franchise, and this is another character that a lot of people have really been talking about recently. Now, probably the biggest argument I see against Doom Guy is that he is from a rated M game, and his game in particular is like extremely bloody and gory, and there's just tons of swearing, cutting people in half with chainsaws and stuff, and to that I say, yeah, you're absolutely right. Doom Guy's game is much more graphic than, let's say, Snake's game or Bayonetta's game, but honestly, that is definitely something that Sakurai and his team can work around. I mean, for those of you guys who didn't already know, Joker's neutral special where he shoots his gun is just called Gun, so like, yeah, Sakurai will definitely find a way to work around the gore and the swearing and everything else like that. Now, in terms of Doom Guy's actual chances, I am definitely going to be making a video about this a little bit later on, but honestly, I think he has a very strong chance of making it into the game. I mean, Doom is actually the first franchise that popularized the first-person shooter genre, so seeing him in Smash Ultimate, like being that iconic, would make a ton of sense. Games like Call of Duty and Halo have taken a ton of inspiration from this iconic franchise, so adding him into the game is honestly a no-brainer. Once again, they are going to have a lot to work around with all the blood and gore and stuff like that, but honestly, they'll be able to do it just fine. And finally, guys, the last character that this leaker mentions by name is Geno, and apparently he is going to be a free character for those of us with Nintendo Switch Online. Now, obviously, Geno is a character that is surrounded in controversy. I mean, for those of you guys who didn't already know, Geno is in fact a spirit in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and a lot of people, including myself, do believe that spirits do in fact deconfirm fighters. Now, there has been no official confirmation on this one way or the other, so really, the definitive answer is up in the air. I assume it's really up to Sakurai's discretion, but it would be interesting to see what they end up doing with it. Now, one of the arguments that I have been seeing in the comments is that, well, King K. Rool is a playable character in Smash, and we also have a spirit for King K. Rool, but that is actually a different version of King K. Rool. So the spirit in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that they are referring to is actually Captain K. Rool, so yes, it is a different character, while Geno's spirit is just simply Geno. Like, there's no, like, difference between him and, like, what he could be in Smash Ultimate, so that is just something to keep in mind. Now, in terms of Geno's chances, guys, one of the biggest things, like, that's going for him right now is that his Mii costume is nowhere to be seen in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, for those of you guys who didn't already know, Geno was the only Mii costume in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS that ended up getting a splash screen because Sakurai realized how much we, the fans, wanted to see him in the game. Not only that, guys, but Nintendo has recently been copyright striking a bunch of Super Mario RPG music, and we saw that happen with Banjo-Kazooie, so maybe that's a hint towards Geno being a playable character. Now, the biggest argument against Geno at this point in time is that Geno is a character from Square Enix, and since we already have Cloud and we just got the hero on the first Fighter's Pass, there's a chance he won't end up making it in. But guys, there's no rule that says we can't get more than one DLC character from one company, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. And finally, guys, apparently this leaker claims that we are going to be getting a total of 5 Fighters Passes, and as much as I want to believe this is true, because that means we get a total of 26 fighters, I don't really know where I stand on this. I would absolutely love to see all of these characters join Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I think 26 would be an awesome total number, but like I said, it's probably not going to end up happening, so we're just going to have to wait and see. I'm going to make a video a little bit later on about how many Fighters Passes I think we're going to end up getting, so be on the lookout for that, and I'll explain it a little bit more in detail. However, guys, with all of that being said, do I believe that this league is real? Honestly, guys, probably not. as much as I want to believe that like we are getting Geno, Crash, and Doomguy, I feel as though Nintendo is not going to want to give away any characters for free, even if you do have Nintendo Switch Online. So for right now, I'm just going to say that this leak is possible. However, guys, let me know your thoughts about this leak in the comments section down below. Do you guys believe that this leak is real, and would you be happy if it was? Why or why not? Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, share, and like, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.